welcome to Unix Backbench. Welcome to the session 2. Today topic we are going to discuss about the concept called VPC. So what is a VPC and VPC how we are going to cover it into the GCP Google Cloud. Okay, so before going to the topic, please subscribe my channel and it will help you for the further alerts. So let me move to the topic. So what is a VPC? So virtual network is one of the major concept, especially into the networking topology. Okay, so if you want to connect any server, if you want to connect anything, the network is very important. So here the physical network, usually we are using into the legacy systems and the physical servers. Virtually how we can connect and what are the types of the network it will be there, and what are the things we need to perform if you want to connect the any server into the separate zone. Okay, if you want to connect nothing but usually last time when we creating the virtual machine, so we discussed about the public and private. So like that, for example, if you want to restrict some set of the servers, okay, publicly, privately, or within a range, so how we can perform, there is some set of operations we have to do it. So those set of operation we are going to cover it in today, one of the topic called virtual private cloud, that is called VPC, and the number of the types and the subnets. So this is some kind of the brief discussion about the VPC. Okay, so let me go to the topic. So VPC is a nothing but virtual private cloud network, a virtual version of the physical network. Nothing but physically the server will be there having their own network topology. On top of that, we are creating the subnets, VPCs, okay, nothing but firewalls, each and everything as per the requirement. Especially this is we are going to create into the Google productions, especially into the networks. Okay, so it will provide the network topology. The topologies, usually we are having many topologies we are having. So in another topics, we are going to cover about the network topologies. What are the network topologies are there, and how we are going to cover the network topologies, and what are the types are there, and what is the segmentations, each and everything, and what is the range. It will come into the picture. Each and everything we are going to cover up into the future sessions. So in this session, BPC is nothing but one of the virtual private cloud. So that is one of the network topology. Okay, so if you want to go to the GCP, the VPC will be looking like this. Nothing but we have a left side, we can see that VPC network, IP address, internal changes, firewalls, routers. Means these are the things which we can create, or we can perform the number of the operations into the production or any time of the test environment also. Nothing but here we can use the default versions, otherwise we can use the customized version also as per the need. For example, on top of that you can see that my project. Okay, here the project also is one of the factor. Based on your project, there is a range will be there. Nothing but them set of the servers will be supporting for only for those projects, not for the everyone in the company. So how we are going to restrict means we are going to provide some kind of restrictions, means a kind of the zoning firewalls, and we have some kind of the mechanism of ranging the servers within a particular range only. So this is the view of the how it will be there into the environment. And now we are going to the move into the next topic. Okay, so how the non-cloud and VPC it will be existing. So non-cloud is nothing but for example, if you are using the legacy systems, physical servers, VPC, nothing but virtual servers. So there is a mechanism of nothing but for example, let it be we have a internet, we everything will be connecting to the public network only, nothing but through the internet. So here VPC, earlier there is one VPN will be there, the gateway will be consisting, on top of that one VM will be there. That VM will be falls into the particular range. On top of that we are installing the web servers. That web servers and another web servers will be the nothing but they are placing into the kind of load balancing mechanism. Okay, but coming to the VPC into the cloud mechanism, the cloud mechanism what the people are doing means the VPC they making as a primary, and the subnets, so the server will be creating under the subnets. Okay, the subnets will be the following into the process of the VPN. So the inside of VPN there is a subnet will be there. So what is exactly the subnet and what exactly the VPN, this terminology we are going to discuss into the next line. Okay, so just here you need to understand that. So VPN is one of the primary aspect. Inside of that, there is some kind of the subnets will be there. These two subnets will be the consisting of two different region, probably with an IP and the location also. So on top of that, we are creating the virtual machines. Nothing but we are creating the our compute engine. Okay, nothing but these servers will be dedicated to these places. And but if you see the logically, these are both are into the part of VPN gateway. Okay, let me move to the next one. So here we are going to discuss about the nothing but how the topology will be there. And if you want to know more about this one, that would be better we are going with one kind of the practical session. So then you can understand what exactly we perform, what exactly we understand. Okay, how we can perform the network things into the production environment. Let's go. So here for example, you can see that internet is a nothing but public topology, nothing but publicly we are accessing. Okay, the internet will be consisting of VPS routings. So routings will be there, that will be, as I said. So we are creating the different type of the subnets here as shown in top of that. This is the one subnet, this is the one subnet. So subnet is a nothing but particular zone is a nothing but, for example, US West is a one of the zonal. For example, let it be, it's in Singapore area. US East is a nothing but in Japan. So particular area of Japan will be having the some set of the IP ranges. If you want to create any server in particular place of the Japan, then that should be follows into this range, nothing but 10.50.0.0/26. So nothing but within that range only, the last digit 0.0, it going to be varies, nothing but 1 2 3 4 something like that, based on the our topology of network whatever we are using, that going to be changed. Nothing but if you want to make your server into the particular network, means you have to use the particular subnet. So subnet is a nothing but one of private zone or container. Okay, so you understand, right? So VPC is a nothing but on top of that, it controls the subnets. It is a kind of the gateway to the subnets. Nothing but if you want to access the one subnet to other subnet, we can able to access by using the VPN. VPN is a nothing but a standard gateway. From here we are creating the subnet, from subnets we are creating the firewalls. Okay, so let me go to the topic. So here, this is the practical one, we are going to perform it. Nothing but what exactly the thing means. So let me define here. So we are creating the one subnet one, that should be little bit I'm creating this range, that should be I'm creating in the region of US West one, and I'm creating the one more server on top of that. Okay, with a particular IP, and again subnet 2, I'm going to perform the action. Okay, with a particular IP range, and this is a region, and here I'm going to perform the some kind of action. So my requirement is that, so I need to create the two VMs into the same different subnets, and one subnet to other subnet I need to make use of ping also. Okay, nothing but it should be accessed by using the VPN. So if you want to perform the any kind of action, means let me move to the topic. So first of all, we need to open the GCP console, then try the console. So I step into the console. Okay, you can see that right now. So right now, this is the welcome page. Here we can able to create a number of operations. For example, let it be our topic is that VPC. Let me go to the VPC. Okay, so this is the VPC. Go to the VPC. So my requirement is that very clear. For example, you can see that I want to create a subnet one with this IP and subnet 2 with this IP. So let me move to the topic. Okay. For example, create a, you can see that whenever you are opening the page, there is one default option will be there. So what is the default option? Nothing but by default Google Cloud platform is providing some kind of operations. If you want to, means we can do the edit here also. Nothing but these are the subnets. This is what the subnets of, for example, this is Africa, this is Asia, this is Asia and Northeast, Asia Northeast too. Nothing but different data centers having the different ranges, and you can see that this is IPv4, IPv6, nothing but we can perform the lot of the operation here and there. Okay, so let me move to the, before diverting to that, so let me move to the topic. So create a VPC network. Here, let me give the VPC. I'm just creating two like a VPC. Okay, so this is the range of the operations, nothing but the value of the data is packets transferring from the source to destination. So I'm going with usually 1460. Okay, if you want to mean in your production environment, usually the clients with the come up with the kind of the requirement, you need to change the MTU value to 1500 8890. In that time, the requirement is that if you are touching any kind of the VPC, that will affect to the number of instances also. So make sure that all the instances should be having the proper approvals, proper downtime. Then only you can come here and you can do the changes. For this one, you need to get approval from the particular application teams, server owners. Then only with a proper change execution only we can perform the things here. Okay, so here let me, I'm going with the default value. Okay, here two types of the options will be there. One is that custom, one is that automatic. For example, automatic, if you selected means it will going to select the default values. Nothing but as usual, whatever the Google Cloud is supporting, the default value it will going to support it. For example, I'm supporting the one new project. The new project, they clearly mention that I need a clear instruction that this subnet should be having a this range only. Okay, they mention that you need to create a one subnet that should be this range only. They clearly mention in that time. So first of all, we need to add a subnet. Okay, let it be um, for example, I'm just creating one subnet name. Okay, here you can see that what is where I need to create US West one. Okay, so I need to select US West one. So if you want to means we can do the name also. Okay, description also we can add it. For example, I'm not adding anything here, so I will mention this as a dot. So here two types of the options will be there. One is that IPv4 and IPv6. For example, based on the your configuration changes, you can go with a single stack or dual stack. So this is one of the big topic I'm going to discuss about the when you are going to discuss about the topology. Here we have a multiple options called single track and dual track, nothing but taking the acknowledgement from the both versions. Nothing but the heartbeat will be transferring here and there. The packet value also differ when you're going with IPv6. But the thing is that since we are into the trial version, we are not touching the IPv6. Okay, so let it be here. It is asking for the range. Okay. Okay, sir, you given the demo too, and you are going to create it. What exactly the range I need to follow? So let it be. I'm just taking the range of this value. Okay, so I'm just taking the value of this one. I'm mentioning that you need to follow this range. Okay. Then here you can mention that private Google access are is should be on or off. So by default it will be off. Nothing but if you want to access your server privately, not for the public range, then you are going with the on option. And this is one of the major options. Flow logs. So flow logs is one of the options. Nothing but it will keep on tracking your subnet every 5 seconds, every 30 seconds. Here if you want means you can create it every 15 seconds also. Nothing but what exactly will happen here means, for example, there is a sometimes is any your data center is down, you are sometimes of any some like a network issues you face into the VPC level, automatically the data will be going to be performed and data will be going to be manipulation. Any type of the activities happen, everything should be tracking here by using the manual tracking. Nothing but it will every log, every second, every 5 seconds the data will be pulling off and it will be monitoring, it will be storing. So if you want means you can directly click on that later on sections means you can able to see the data when the VPC is going to be down or when the subnet is going to be down. So we have some kind of the additional mechanism of accessing the things. For example, I don't want means I'm going with the off. Let it be go with on 5 seconds. Okay. So hybrid subnet is not need. Okay. So there is a one more option. I'm going with the done with that. Okay. So there is a one more VPC I'm creating. Okay. Let it be. sub 2. Okay, so my requirement is that I need to create into the US East one. US East one. Okay, so again I'm going with a range one. So what is my range here? Let it be. I given a range here. Okay, so here I don't want to go with logs. I'm just going with the default value. Okay, done. So nothing but ultimately we created the two sub values. Okay, you can see that everything is clear. And if you want to go with some kind of the options will be there dynamically routes or globally, regionally, nothing but if you want means you can do the DNS also. Let me create it. There is some issue. Okay, so there is one more thing I pinged, but it is not needed. Okay, so my VPC is creating. So ultimately, I have two things here. One is that in subnet one, another one is subnet two. So subnet one, I created the server with a particular network into this range. Subnet two, I created with this range. So next, my goal is that on top of that, I need to create a one virtual machine with a subnet one. I need to create a one more virtual machine with a subnet two. So let me monitor the things. Let me, you can see that the things are happening here. So once it's done, like above, you can see that, okay, the value has been changed. Let me see the value. You can see that it was created successfully. Let me open the things. Here we have the some other things we are going to be in brief. Okay, what are the things means? You can see that like these are the subnets I used. One is that subnet 2 sub, subnet 2 sub 2. These are the two types of the one is that west, one is that east. Okay, so make sure it's clear. Then go to the next one. Okay, here something is there. Static IPs. I don't want the static IP things and all. There is some kind of the firewalls. What exactly the firewall? Firewall is the one kind of the one of the gateway. It will allow you to enter ingress and postgress. We are saying nothing but enter the traffic inside of your environment. Okay, and moving the traffic outside of environment. It is a kind of the gateway. Okay, let me do the some practical here. Okay, let me, I'm not doing any changes here. Let me create it to the VM, then we will see that. So we have the number of the options. If you want to do means we can create the routes and the private servers, everything. Okay, let it be. I'm not going to do touch anything more than this. Okay, so let me go to the computer engine. So let me move on. Okay, so my requirement is that I'm pretty clear here. In this range, I need to create a one VM. In this range, I need to create a one VM. Okay, create instance. Okay, and let it be. I'm taking the subnet one as my instance name. Demo 2. Okay, special characters are not allowed. Then we don't have any options. We have to remove it. Okay, so demo to sub, there is one thing I created. So here we need to make sure that what is the reason we are looking. So my requirement is that US West 1. So US West 1, Oregon. Okay, and here there is a number of the again some things are there. If you want means I can go with any, otherwise I can go with the any specific. Let me go with the any. Okay, so next one, you can see that here number of the options will be there, general purpose or computer for optimization purpose, nothing but based on your server requirement, we can go with the things. For example, if you have the server is highly load and you need to take care of the everything, then you are going with a lot of options here. For example, if you can see that once you taken up the things, okay, the value has been changing. You can see that the value has been increasing and changing. So I'm going with a normal cost. So you can see that low cost day-to-day computing based on the availability. Nothing but I don't want to be go with high end. I'm going with basic things and all like a two virtual CPUs and 4 GB of RAM. 10 GB of balanced persistent disk. So this is what I'm going to take up. Okay, here you can do that. Here also mission type, what type of the cores. If you want to do the changes into the core also, we can do it from the 2 to 32, and memory also 1 to 16. But I don't want to be do the changes because I already selected a okay 4 GB of RAM, so that is enough for me, my requirement. Okay, if you want to do the any kind of the maintenance promotions or nothing but provisioning kind of the thing, nothing but if server need to be deployed and automatically means we can do that. I don't want to do that. So this is the my requirement clearly mentioned that. Okay, means whatever I selected. Okay, so here there is some kind of the options. You can see that right now firewall I'm not touching anything. So make sure clearly firewall I'm not touching anything. Okay, so then I'm going to the next one. So one is that creating. So here I don't want to be terminate. Yeah, I'm going to terminate only. There is some errors are we are getting. Okay, general purpose. Okay, and I'm selecting this one only. And here, okay, I'm going with this one only. And standard. Okay, here I'm not performed any kind of the. Okay, just a second. Something. Let me create the virtual machine. So I'm creating the virtual machine here. So one more requirement is that I need to create a one more virtual machine on. So first one we created on west. So I need to create one more virtual machine on east. Let me go to the create virtual machine for Fatafat. Okay, demo 2 sub 3. Okay, so now I need to select the east one. Okay, so that is what the my requirement is. It is that US east one. Okay, US east one. It should be let it be selected any only. I'm not modifying. I'm not doing any kind of purpose here. Okay, it should be standard. Okay, and everything will be same only. Okay, I'm not doing any changes into the firewall level also. I'm just selected the subnet only. Let me create it. So here you can see that there is a two types of the VMs we created. One is that demo sub 2, demo 2 sub, demo 2 sub 3. These are the two VMs I created. Now we are going to understand what exactly the. So let me launch the VM. You can see that I launched. It will. I'm trying to connect the virtual machine. So both servers are running. Let me authorized. So what is authorization? Authorization means since we are logging into standard account, right? It will going to be evaluate. Okay. Let me sub to. Let me authorize here. Authorization means I am allowing that. So we are having the standard mechanism of things and all, nothing but we are able to do that. You can see that. Let me keep the both side by side. This is one of the virtual machine. So this is one of the virtual machine. Okay, you can see that IP space A. So this is IP address. Okay, IP space A. This is IP address of the thing. Okay, let me do some of the course of actions. Nothing but this is the IP address of this server. Okay, you can see that, right? 10.142. Okay, let me copy it, paste it. Let me type it. Typing somewhat sometimes is better than copying. 0.2. Okay, So you can see here, this server was created into the environment of, let it be some east one. Okay, this is into the west one, but both are parallelly connected to the by using the VPC, right? Okay, let me, I'm taking this IP also. Let me ping 10.138.0.2. So here I'm able to ping the both servers from here to there and there to here. How it is happening means, let me go to our basic architecture. So by this we can complete the our demonstration part. Let me go to the how it will happen. You can see here we created one VPC. Okay, so let me go to the VPC. You can see here what I done. Just I'm recapping the values. Let me, I created the one VPC. Inside of my VPC, I created the two subnets. One is for the west one is for the west two. On west one, I created the one more virtual machine. You can see that I created the one virtual machine. East one, I created the virtual machine. How the both things are able to pingable from this VM to means demo to VPC sub to demo to VPC sub. How we can able to pingable means this both are part of gateway. So what is that gateway? That gateway is we are calling as VPC. This VPC, nothing but inside of this only we created both of them. You can see that here this VPC is we created on inside of that subnet and subnet, two types of the subnet with a different range we created. From here I install the one VM, from here I install the one VM, from here to here how it will be pingable means it will be transferring through the gateway of VPN. So this is the advantages of the VPN, nothing but we can avoid the dependency. Okay, thank you for watching the thing, and if you like my videos, please